guru. No, he's a businessman with a great radio show.
And he supports the nonprofits. Watch his show and grow.
Mike King Biz, the voice of RVA Business Media. He's the partnership guru, connecting game changers and community champions on the battlefield of good business. Proving that businesses can make the world a better place. Increase your brand awareness and build stronger connections with Mike King Biz, the social enterprise media brand where profit meets purpose. Mike King Biz.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to On the Mike King here. This is part of the Mike King Biz Media Network, ESPN Richmond 6.1. As we're coming to you from the Mike King Biz Studio, which is the global epicenter of social enterprise business. That's what we do. We talk to the best and the brightest. Renee Lacey, what's up out there? How you doing? So Renee Lacey, she got me doing a fashion show on the radio. Well, I wasn't in it because, I don't roll like that. I don't have that type of swagger. So if you ever want to check out Renee Lacey, Cameo Models, internationally out, I think that it's just international for people from Philly. All right, so, hey, we got a podcast star, network guru. Mush King is in the building. Welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you.
All right, so, as always, do tell folks you are and what you do.
My name is Mush King, and I am the creator of the CWF Network, which is a podcast network that started in 2014, and we have grown, and we're transitioning into a media company now.
Okay, back in 2014, what was it about the podcast world that kind of got you started thinking about it?
I was working for Obamacare. I had to walk 4 miles a day to the train station, 2 miles in the morning, 2 miles in the afternoon. Podcasting was the only thing that was entertaining because I had to walk at 6 in the morning, so no one was awake to talk to me on the phone. So I would listen to podcasts. Joe Budden was big at the time. He just started. Charlemagne the God was just starting. Combat Jack had his network. So that's where I got my inspiration from for the network. Okay,
so you built the network out. From the business model, what did you learn? What was when you first started? When did you know that I can do this thing right here? Something can come from it.
Well, originally, CWF Network means Conversation with Friends, and just the name alone would have people intrigued. So we would go around and tell people that we had a show. I would leave flyers on toilets, flyers, everywhere I could possibly leave them. But when I started realizing that people would be like, wow, you're so entertaining. And it wasn't until we got an email from a university in Wisconsin stating that their Black Student Union needed entertainment. They wanted to bring us there to do our show live in front of their school. Okay,
from the business model, what did you learn some of the bumps that happened? When you look back at it now, what are some of the bumps that you ran into?
A lot of the bumps that I ran into basically was dealing with people. I found a lot of the hosts, I've produced 20 shows. 20 shows have come to the network. I've coached at least 25 people. But I've met a lot of them online, on the internet, not knowing them from before. And I was the person reaching out to you, finding you, say, hey, you want to do a show on my network? I would bring you in, coach you, and do all of that. What I realized is that, one, your dream is not everybody else's dream. So you can try to tell them, hey, this is what I've been building, this is what I have. But if it's not something that they're looking to do, they're not going to be really interested for the long term. And then, two, also how to talk to people. Because I would have people from Canada, people from the South, people from the North, and the way that I talk to one person isn't the way that I talk to the Southern host who lives in Georgia, who grew up Christian, opposed to the New Yorker that I deal with who curses like a sailor. Like, you just kind of have to know how to deal with the people.
All righty, so how can we get information out about CWF Network?
You can follow us on Instagram, CWFP_, and go follow the YouTube CWF Network. The goal is to create original programming. That's the new transition that we're trying to move into. Just follow us online, and you can catch us with our polls and podcasts.
Okay, so when people tune in, what can they expect? So you said this is what you're transitioning into. How can you help a business owner, an entrepreneur out there with the services that you provide?
Our goal is to have voices heard. And if you are a company that's looking for a place where it's creative, it's original, it's informative, because my goal is to bring what is lacking in media. And a lot of times is when it comes to the younger generation, Gen Zs, all that, you don't have a central place for us to go for news. You don't have a central place for us to go for videos no more. And I feel like in the 90s, we had BT, we had MTV, places that you can go for direct things. And as the internet changes, I mean, there's no central place for everyone to kind of go to get it. So that's exactly what I'm trying to build. So I'm looking for, other businesses who can help me expand on that vision and idea.
So one of the things that you have, when you see people out there making mistakes on podcasts, what's something that you see as a podcast expert? What are some of the things that you see people are not doing?
One of the things is making your show longer than it has to be. When you're starting off having a 2-hour show, it may not be conducive. Like, start off with 45 minutes, a half an hour to see what it is, and then build up your audience at that time. Like, no one's gonna, especially in the time we live in with everything's micro, and you want to put out a 2-hour show, you're not gonna get the listenership that you want. Also, just being informative on what you talk about. Like, a lot of times people see a mic, they get on the mic and just want to have diarrhea of the mouth.
Everybody, yes.
So, sometimes it's like, write down some notes, whatever way you got to do it to give your point, that's what I suggest.
So, how can people get information about Conversation with Friends?
Conversation with Friends Network, like I said, CWFP _ on Instagram. We're on TikTok. Anything CWF Network. Especially YouTube. Go follow YouTube because we're trying to grow that.
So you said that mistake number one, people make it too long.
Yes.
What's something else that you see on a regular basis people are doing they shouldn't be doing?
Worrying. They want their supportive network to be their family and friends. And I tell people all the time when it comes to this media stuff, a lot of times people just going to be looking at you like you're just sitting there with a mic. I'm not listening to that until they see other people supporting you, and then that's usually when they get on board. So I usually used to tell all my hosts, your friends aren't going to listen. Your friends aren't going to listen, and don't be mad and quit because your immediate circle isn't listening.
That's right. Out there, people will not listen. Hey, shout out to my man YB. YB the connector out there. One of ET's evangelists out there talking great things, making the magic happen. He is the man collaborating. Shout out to him. So YB the connector is the guy. He is my mentor from the world famous Chesterfield Chamber of Commerce. So YB is out there making magic happen. Alrighty, so it's on the mic with Mike. CWF is the network. Mush King is here with us. Okay, so he says collaboration creates currency. That's exactly what I was saying, YB. Yes, thank you for guiding me, just out here in the wilderness, wilding. So on the mic with Mike King here. We're always talking about the things that make magic happen. So, you dealt with people all across the board. You were in magazines too, weren't you?
Yes.
You were creative.
I started off in fashion, trying to be a stylist. That's what I originally wanted to be, and then I realized that that's a lot of work, and you don't want to be doing all that. So then I did some work with BET. I did some work with VH1, just doing some styling stuff. Then I started creating hand-painted hats and started emailing every single stylist that I could, and then finally got featured in Vogue Italia.
There you go. Mush King's out there. On the mic, Mike, he can't hang out with me here on the air all day. He got stuff to do. So, on the mic, make sure you follow him one last time.
Mush King, 4-letter guy.
Well, okay. The 4-letter guy, that's it.
8 letters better. Mush King.
Okay.
Listen, gotta be on your toes.
Ladies and gentlemen, yeah, I tried. Sometimes things hit like a... I didn't get it at first, okay, before, but 8 letters is better.
8 letters better.
Okay, good.
Mush King.
One of Mike, we gotta go. When he walks in,
The champ is here! The champ is here! The champ is here!
hey, YB, he did the same move that you did. Why is every time I play that people in here flexing on people? On the mic is Mike, we bring you the best and brightest. We gotta go. This is a business show. I don't know where we even went. Take care.